Well, last week we were trying to talk about speaking, where we try to talk about the challenges one will be facing. Uh, I did talk about lack of knowledge of the subject matter, that if you don't know what to say, you know how you'll be doing and even to lie is not an easy thing. If you if you already prepare to lie, and from all what they said in reporting, they can fault their lies. They can see that they were those people that went to go and report or write some things to the management. They now find out that, in fact, all are false. I was happy when I was applauded that yes, I've done the right thing, and I said let them go and look at it. So if you don't, if you lack of, those are the challenges of speaking. Lies at times it's a challenge to speaking. When you are speaking lies, you do a lot of work, because by the time you want to coin it, you are stressing yourself already. But to say the truth is lighter and straightforward. I've talked about the accent of my mother's tongue. So, and I said, how can you overcome all these challenges? Be yourself. That's the first thing. Then have integrity. All these, you won't start. You will be more uh, you will be more confident in yourself. You will be more uh, you will be frank. People will respect you. Any integrity person who can respect, people will respect you. Definitely, you must be respected, no matter what. So, and I said, it's always good to contribute in whatever we are doing. Let us try and make contribution rather to be saying bench warmer and then no, your contribution, uh, give that person who is speaking the one belief that these people I'm talking to, they are in line. They have. Let me mute people. I'm sorry, I've not muted the people. So people that will be coming in again will be saying, so this is almost 7, and we have only 89 people in the. So when I muted everybody and they are not unable to call, they started shouting, and you can see people are already. So, and then, in speaking at times, when you practice and then you you speak out your mind, you free your heart. Speaking is a therapy. No, when people speak, your nerves, if you do some exercises and then you improve in your speaking and in your utterances, there is going to be a great increase and correction in whatever you are saying. Then if you know the content, most of you in education, or if you don't know what to teach, or you don't have the knowledge of the subject matter, and that is why you need to read why. This course, I didn't do anything about GST 107 during my own time. Don't even, the only course I did was GST 10 GNS. It's not GST this time around. It's we call it General Studies. In our case, it's General Studies. So it was general. We do English, introduction to GST 101, 102, and 103, philosophy of things, and that is all. Okay, we did agree. Yeah, they asked us to go and plant, and we have religious and so, and that was in early 90s or late 80s. So I can't, but this particular course, uh, I picked it up like you, and then I was able to dish out. You can as well do the same thing. I didn't get it from heaven. I sit down, fashion out this, and then uh, make it uh, make it a class that people can now know. Now, so I haven't said that we talk about the essential, how fluency you are, the grammarian. Some of you will be using one tonation that is not good. You know, your level of fluency matters. Yes, we are Nigerians. Not everyone is fluent in English. Not all of us good in British English or in American English. But whichever language you are speaking, speak it rightly. Let people know that yes, you there is understanding in what you are saying. Your pronunciation, build on it. If you have uh, if you have been saying you um, mm, so, we learn how to say so, and that is why some people do what we call vocabulary in school, phonetics, phonics at primary level, even at kindergarten level now, they do all those things. And so I said all those. Let's progress. We'll be talking about reading, and this is one of the crucial which no one can avoid not to do. You must engage yourself in reading. Reading and writing, you will get there. You see, and that is why we pick it from the simplest tool. We first say listening. When you listen, then you listen from what people are saying, and then speaking. Speaking means when you are communicating with one another. But first of all, before you know how to speak, you must listen. You must hear something before you say something. If you don't hear anything, you can't say anything. Now that you have known how to listen, then you've known how to speak. Then another thing is how to read. What do you want to read? So, in essence, reading is the ability to understand what's containing the document. So, when you have any piece of paper or whatever, or at times, or daily, or anything at all, is for ability to understand and get meaning to certain things. And it is when you have that ability to write all this you have gotten, you'll be able to summarize, you'll be able to tell us the story you have learned, the story you have read. So if you don't develop that habit of reading, well, it could be, and we have several ways, several means of reading. People read, and you see, well, I don't think there is anybody. If I said in my own time I don't read, I have ways. Nobody on this earth that cannot read and said he has made progress. No. Academic or doing, you must read, even if it's for you to pass instruction or they are passing instruction to you. If you go to chemist uh, or a pharmaceutical shop or anything you want to get, there must be information about that thing. That information that you are reading it in order to have knowledge about what you or about what you are. So why won't you read? And that is why we said reading is ability to understand what is contained in the document and make use of the knowledge for personal growth and development. Whatever you have read, it has contributed to your growth and development. You have make create an intellectual ability in you that yes, I had knowledge of this thing. I know what this thing is. I read. This is exactly the thing I'm looking for. This is because God forbid us, when if you go to court or you want to and you get to police station, they ask you to write a statement on how it happens. Then the statement you put down, it stands against you. Even when they help you to write, you should be able to say, this is not what I said, though. Oga, what you put down for me is not my own, no. So you should be able to read whatever they have. And if they will ask you, I've seen it in the court. They say, is it your handwriting? The person said no. Is this what you said? He said no. Then, did you sign? He said no. They now asked the policeman, how come did you forge this signature? He said he cannot sign. He said the man did not sign, he cannot thumbprint. He thumbprinted for him. They forced him to thumbprint. And he told them that they forced his hand to thumbprint on that thing, that he can sign. And that is how he put the policeman in trouble. So, you see, reading will help you to even if you cannot read. In those days of ours, they normally call us when their children write them a letter from abroad or from somewhere. They will call, please, come and help us to read this letter. You will run. Hey, we want to go and showcase our skill. By the time they gave you the letter and start reading, greetings to mama, as this letter makes you in good condition as we are here in London. This to inform you that my baby has to deliver. You see all this. You read to get information. Then reading is classified as a receptive skill. This is because it takes in or receive information through reading. Just what I've just explained. When you receive good news, or so they read good news to you, you'll be happy. So both listening and reading skill are receptive skill. So because by the time there's one Yoruba word that will say, my ears will receive good news. I will receive good news. When you receive, you listen to good news. I will read good news. So all these things are working interwoven. So like I said, it is when you'll be able to when you listen, is when you can. If they said, if you listen well, assuming if I don't want you to speak, I don't want that person to speak. I know I know it's an Igbo man and he hear Yoruba very well. I'll just say, oh my God, holy. You say me. You are causing, he said, cause of a reaction of the speaking that makes him to react. Or you read, don't urinate here. And they say, you didn't see. What do you see here? What do you read here? Oh, they are reading best. So in reading, you use your eyes, but the blind or visual impaired will use their hand on the brakes. There are some people who, well, thank God we don't have impaired eyes impaired people among us. So, why do we read? I've been telling you, if you listen well, you enjoy this class. We read for pleasure. There are some people who just like to read comics, read stories. All these actors, it is what they read, they put into play. When they see it, they say, oh, I love these things. They were just reading it, and then, though it's for pleasure, they were, there are some people you see them, they will reading and they will listen to music because that thing does not really uh, giving them this thing. You relax and read, and just to say, I'm enjoying that story, you know, for your pleasure, to make you happy, to see. When you open your phone, there are some TikToks that you see on your phone that you read. It has no meaning to you, but you just need to feel like, or to laugh. Then reading for information. These are people who needs to know what goes around them, who wants to hear the news. Some are fond of when it is 9 o'clock or the time for news. That is when you see them. Or some want to learn from others' mistakes. There are some programs that they do in radios that people want to listen to or to read about. When they post those things, Goni Ali, Abu, you have started again. Can you see these nonsense people? They will never hear a word. Nemesis will catch on you. So people read to acquire information, to know what is going on. You see them, they will go to dailies where they are selling papers, free readers association. You've heard about it. I won't unmute you so that you will not make it rowdy. Free readers association. They have association. You see those people, they are there by 6 o'clock. They are at a vendor's edition. They will give the vendor 100 naira and read all the papers. And when you ask them about what they read, they give you some facts that news cannot give to you. Because they might not have time to listen to news, or they don't have light. So they take on print media. They read through that, and then the third one, reading to study. That is study reading. Well, this is the stage where we are. Some of us, when we pick our books, we read. Reading is a devilish art when it comes to study reading. You might be reading for pleasure, you enjoy it, nobody disturbs you. Even when they send you an error, you will know. But reading for study needs much more concentration. And when you pick, what I said, reading is a devil, is a witch, is what do I call it now? It doesn't want to make progress. There is always obstacles attached to it. It is that time when you pick that you want to study, you want to read, that is when your child will be crying, just as those people who are disturbing the class. That will be the time you don't, and that is why we first put to this, that you must discipline yourself. You must set aside a timetable. You must do things, you must put things in order. Your house must be in order before you set it. Or if not, you can't get anything out of it. And that is why you need to do some homework, then keep your, that's why we first tell you the characteristics of open and distance learner, that out of these characteristics, so these are one that you discipline yourself. You must have uh, things, put things in place. You must motivate yourself. You must look for how you can get yourself a timetable. Throw a timetable when you want to study. That will be the time. Those of you that are under your mother or under a guidance, that will be the time they will call you to go and help them to buy this. That will be the time they will ask you to go and do this. But if you have scheduled your timetable and then you let them know that this time and this particular time, this is what I will be doing, this is what I will be doing. But because you cannot schedule your time, you cannot discipline yourself, you cannot put your house in order, you cannot maintain your, you should have your quiet time, please. That should be a time to study. And that is why in some people's house, you see they have study room. Those that don't have study room, they go to library because reading required much more silent place where you can read to assimilate, not read, pass, and forget. No, read, pass, and maintain, and retain. So if you have your book with you, you pick it, okay, this one I want to read. Reading is very, very difficult. It's something you cannot easily go by. So, by so doing, you will need to read, you read some lines, you won't understand. You need to consult. You need to look for another book to get the real meaning of that thing. You need to get your dictionary. That's why I said reading is difficult. Once you are able to get that line, in fact, reading is attractive and as well is a devil. By the time you want to, if you want to read seriously, most times when you carry it, you see that that will be the time you want to sleep. Oh, let me eat a little bit to feel tired. That is the devil working. It's not the book. The book will be far away from you. You want to distance yourself, just like a distance student. That will be the time your children will bring you something exciting. Oh, come and see your pass. Oh, you want to. That time that you're supposed to have to do your own study, you come back to that thing later to celebrate. Because that time, devil knows that you want to assimilate at that particular time. He will not allow you to do. And that is why you discipline yourself. And the moment you start reading, do you know that you can attract reading? Once you are doing it constantly, they will send you an error. You run back. Mommy, I'm coming. I just want to remember this. You open it again. Okay. They are saying, okay, strong, good. Okay, this is what they mean. That okay, anybody that do this will get strong. Yes. Before you get to where you are going, it will occur in your memory. You will be recalling as if you are with your book. By the time you see, that's where your mind will go. Nobody is using juju. No one they say use juju. I don't believe in it. But once you give it and discipline yourself, in fact, and that is why the cause of people every co, because they are get addicted, they are get attracted. But once you don't have that discipline and you don't get attracted to it, there is nothing you can do. You'll be struggling. And that is what will take us to reading for general understanding. When you are reading for general understanding, okay, I want to have idea of what is going on. I want to have idea of this. Just like this course that we are doing now. Yes, 107. You want to have idea of how a typical open and distance learner should behave and to what they should go through. The way things supposed to be done with them. So that is to have general knowledge of what goes on within and around you. a terrain you don't know. You didn't. It's dangerous to dwell in. So there is one adage that you don't dredge a river you cannot swim in. You know that at this place, okay, let me see. When you read about it, okay, this is where the gully is, this is where the boat is, this is where the cool things is, this is where the corner is, this is where you can. So, you have a general understanding of your surroundings. So you will not fall a victim of anything. So, how do we approach readings? How do we get reading done? When you are previewing, it's just like reading to have a general idea. It's like reading the headings. If they get attracted to you, you take it and you say, oh, okay, this is what this thing is. Eh? You have a general idea of a text without reading the whole text. From what you have done, what you have gotten, from what the headings of that you are likely to have idea of what that thing means. When you talk about the good study guide for open and distance learner, or study guide for open and distance learner, you understand that okay, this you you have the part of what you are to to understand when we say a study guide for distance learner. That is the learner here, how you can be guided successfully, how you can be succeed whatever you want to do. When we talk about skimming, reading only the main ideas quickly. This is different from the reviewing because you read part of the paragraph in the text. This one you just skim through. You are not, you don't, you just want to have a quick look at this. Okay, just like when they flash things on the television, when you read it, so okay, just let that one go. You don't. But when you are previewing, you have read the passage. In skimming, you can just read only one line. While previewing, you can read uh, a paragraph or introduction part of that story, and then you have the idea on an abstract of it. Abstract of that, you get it. But skimming, just flash through the headline. While scanning, when you say you scan through, you're still going to talk about the flip through. When you scan through, you are just focusing only on location or specific information. Maybe you are you want to see certain things, you just see. So skimming can look like a flip through, just flip through, you open. When you talk about scanning, you are looking for a particular information, for a specific information. Probably you want to say, okay, where did they put the reading? Where no, and so you start looking from the headings. That is just like those that go to the library. By the time they tell you, you are able to read on the catalog to say this is what you want to see, this is what you want to have. Then reading in details. This is kind of reading that required very, very, very good attention. It involves, in fact, paying serious attention, having way that you can, in fact, separate yourself from people so that you can have what you really want to use, read, and then read in detail, read to understand, read to uh, get details, read to make a meaningful meaning from what you have read, read to get uh, good ideas. Read to get good ideas. So let us look at this. Well, before reading, you should employ proud knowledge in assessing the topic you are about to read. If you were reading certain things and your prior knowledge about listening and speaking is not deep, you won't want to read about it because somebody might have spoken to you maybe about the place. You don't just come to National Open University. Somebody say, there is National Open University there. Okay, you have heard. You have listened to him. You go and pick your book or go and, what is their website? Go and look at it and verify. Your prior knowledge is what you have gotten about that place and what do you want to hold. You make prediction about the possible meaning. Now, probably this is it conventional university? Is it federal government university? Is it owned by state? Is it Obasanjo University? That is what I first have in mind. In fact, then I was a lecturer, but I was saying it's Obasanjo's university. Honestly speaking, before I got to know that it is federal government owned university. Can you see? Until I was able to read about the National Open University, so I could know that, so National Open University is federal government owned, just like Unilag, University of Ibadan, and the rest. Oh my God, I've made some mistakes for not have been in this school earlier before now. So during you should evaluate your understanding. Don't let us deceive ourselves. If you are reading and you comprehend, you know. If you just read for reading sake, you are deceiving yourself. You will know. So there is nothing of what you are doing. You can also do this by questioning, thinking, and reflecting on the ideas and information found in the text. So the only thing you can do, don't reading, you go, okay, have I gotten the idea? Did I notice any changes in me? I require what I've read. Is there any information I found in this text that peculiar to what this person is saying? No, there are many things. So, and when people are saying SQR, that is square 3R, we'll talk about survey, question, read, recall, recite, and review. So, when we say survey, you are looking and you look for those books. Am I reading am I in the right part? Am I reading? Just go back to the first one I said. You clarify to understand what you've read. Am I getting to read what is in this text? Am I making the right choice? Is it the good terrain for me? you ask yourself some cogent questions. Then you read again. Then, as your ability to recall or recite, are you able to review? Then you should be able to review by writing down some things to say, okay, what is this happening? So, advantage of learning through vocabulary expression, you improve your language skill, you will pass your knowledge base. You know, you don't limit yourself to what you have had in the class alone. Once you read, you are able to expand your knowledge base. Exploration of ideas. You have different other stimulation of imagination and creativity. Memory improvement, improve focus and concentration, and strong analytic and skill. So, with all this, you have your reading completely. So, when you said you are reading, you should be able, in a way, get this essential component of reading. Comprehension. You see, when in teaching and learning, if you are able to read, you see, you find this in speaking, you find it in reading. Why the idea is that when you read from your speaking, you'll be able to know that this is the right word. This is the phonetics they were saying, talking about, this phonics. This is the vocabulary. You develop yourself. Comprehension. You'll be able to express. Not when they tell you that, what is your name? You tell them, this is your name. That is ability to recall. This is what you were told that is your name. But when you go extra mile to her that you were born so by so person and so, okay, it's 30 minutes as I promised that I will be opening. Okay, Kolade. It's only Kolade that will talk now, and let us hear him and see. Kolade.
Sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Please, I dare the advantages of reading.
We'll get there. Yes, from all what you have been saying, haven't you got advantage? I've said it here now. Advantages of learning. Reading.
Okay.
The
disadvantages.
Expression, improvement your language, which I've seen showing. Expansion
Oh,
of knowledge base.
Sir, please, when you stay far, we can't hear you clearly.
When I say stay far.
Yes, right now I'm hearing you clearly, but before now I've been typing that I can't hear you clearly.
Okay. Is it my mouthpiece? Okay. The advantages are here. Vocabulary, I've said it now.
It's actually clear enough if you use
the disadvantages, sir. Disadvantages.
Disadvantages. Well,
yes, sir.
From there you'll be able to deduce. If you do the disadvantage of reading is time consuming.
Excuse me, good morning. Kolade's mic is making noise.
What at the time now? What is it?
Please, can you mute yourself? You're making noise.
It's only one person that I'm talking to, and Usman, mute yourself. Edit. Edit, Emmanuel, let him.
Sir.
Oh yeah, mute yourself. Mute yourself until I'm finished with all these people. Okay. Let me take Usman. This man, Usman. Okay. Your boss, Sola Sulaiman.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I was just joining for the first time, so I can barely hear you here. Can barely hear you. Can barely hear you.
You didn't hear me well.
Yeah, that was before, but now it's okay though. So I don't know the recording of the past class. I don't know if how will I get it?
It's in your it's in every other people have been getting it now. Ask your colleagues. It's in
Okay.
it's in where you get this thing. Go to your
All
portal,
right.
get it there. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so Bolanle.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, in our last CMA, I have two questions that I don't really understand. They asked us that which of the following assessments of CMA now be?
CMA?
Yes.
You say
that last
TMA?
CMA.
Yes. You are talking about TMA?
Yes.
I don't have answer for TMA. Go to your center on issue.
Good morning, sir.
TMA. Go to your center. I have no business with TMA. I'm not the one that is giving an additional CMA.
I want to ask a question.
I was in this thing.
What is your question?
They asked us that which of the assessment does CMA now belong?
Maybe.
Is it examination? Is it committee? Is it formative?
Then
the assessment.
We'll show you the.
You are disturbing this class. You are jumping. You are jumping the gun. Let us get to that place. Whether you want to have formative, you want to have formative. Let's get to evaluation. When we'll be talking about evaluation and assessment, that is the area we are going to after this level. Let's be systematically. Okay, don't let us rush.
Okay, sir.
If you have read your books, you will have gotten here. Fine. Go ahead and read your TMA. The TMA issue, they put it on for you. It's not close. But once you answer them and you submit, it ends. You can't go back to it. It can be there for until you answer it, until they put the time lag. They have time lag, and they expect you to have finished or have done some readings after some days. Even those people that register tomorrow, that will register on Monday, will still have this TMA. They will do their TMA. But if you are in a hurry, you want to finish your TMA, finish it, do it. If you score 0, fine. You can't go back to it. Please don't bring issue of TMA. I don't want to hear anything about TMA. It is your own. So listen to this class, and then you see a problem about TMA. So you can't be drawing us back and front.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
On the essential component of reading, please, can you explain the difference between those two words, the phonics and the phonemics? I don't understand them. The phonemics, to be particular.
It is when you are reading, we'll talk about it when we are talking about speaking. When people use phonics, and the rest, when they speak using some grammars that people don't understand the tone. It is this phonics, when you read, you'll be able to know that this is how these words are pronounced. This is the difference between phonics, those that did English, they know this better. So
Okay,
you
sir.
don't need to bother yourself about it, but we just point it out for you that when you read, you will see those things that this is how these words needs to be pronounced. You are doing general English, introduction to some English. That is where you learn all these things. I'm not the grammarian,
Okay, sir.
but I'm
Right.
just pointing it out for you. What you find during the reading and when they speak, and anyone that speaks to you with this, know that this is what is trying to say, and that is why the essence of this. Abba Girado.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what
Good
do you want to
morning.
say? Quickly, we are
No,
almost this reading
I
today.
wanted to, okay, sir. I wanted to learn about people's report. It was disturbing the class, but it's okay now.
Huh?
I wanted to complain about people's mic because it was disturbing the class, but it's okay now. You can continue.
Abba, let's leave those people. Let us concentrate. Thank you. I
Yeah,
understand your concern. God bless you.
yeah. Thank you, sir.
Imoru, Imoru,
Hello, good morning, sir.
good morning. Be fast at it, please.
So please, I don't really understand the class, like the phonics part. I don't really get, sir.
I've just explained to you to somebody now. You are still asking about the phonics part. What is in the phonics? When we talk about when we talk phonics, we are saying, what are we saying there? When we talk about
Sir,
comprehension, we are saying your level of assimilation. When you talk about phonics, these are things that you when you are reading, that the correct pronunciation of those things. Phonemics, this thing when people form acronyms for words to say, okay, this is the meaning of this, just like the three squares. I'm not here to teach you in grammar, but I'm telling you the essential components that you find when you are reading. The vocabulary you have heard is what they are saying. If you read, you'll be able to find those things. I'm about to start teaching you what vocabulary is.
no, sir.
You do that in your English. But I'm telling you, these are things you will come across.
Okay, sir.
Or do you
Sir,
find the
thank you,
meaning
sir.
of vocabulary of this thing there? Or do they teach you the vocabulary? You have done it in your English. It's only you didn't go to that class. At GST 102 or thereabout or 101. It's there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Edit, the last person. Margaret.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Fine, sir. Sorry, I don't really know that there was class this morning. I'm just joining it.
Okay.
The
We'll go and get the
my question is that they say we are ignorant. Sorry, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So our orientation is it going to be online? Abi school. Please don't be offended.
I'm not offended. I don't know anything about orientation. I'm sorry. The orientation, they will send a message to you in your respective study
She
center.
told me that it's this October, but don't you follow the October?
October, consult your study center. That is why you have study center.
Mics and allowed us to listen.
Any information you need, get it from your study center. Thank you. So far, let us be on the fast lane. In the next 10 minutes, let me see if we to finish this. So bad reading habits, just like somebody who's having disadvantages. Reading one word at a time, you know, you are talking about disadvantages. This is one of the disadvantages because you don't have techniques or encouragement to read at times. So Some people, they strain their eyes before they read. They didn't need to do because they believe reading is time consuming. Then distraction and loss of attention. Once you have that, it's only how you can overcome it. Let me tell you, every Nigerian, majority of Nigerians have that bad reading habit. We allow a lot of distractions and we don't focus. Once you lost attention when you are reading, you can't get it. Once you are reading one line twice or you don't, you see, and that is why when we are doing group discussion, they will ask you, you go and read this passage, you go and read this passage, you go and read this passage. Let us come together. And this is what we have even make available for you to do. I talked about it in when I said independent versus versus group reading, collaboration. That is, you can collaborate with your people. You can read on your own. You can separate, group yourself in groups. Okay, we in this group, let us do. You have friends, and this is part of what you have come here. If you have listened to all my teaching in the past, you will have gotten this thing, that these things are prepared systematically. You don't need, when we talk about characteristics, that for open and distance learner, you should be able to read independently. You should be able to also collaborate with reading with others. Oh, you have read that thing. Okay, what did you read here? Let me know. Okay, it shows you. Probably your eyes overlook some things. You put it, I didn't see it when I was reading. It's there. Or probably when you are jotting notes, you didn't put those sentences down. I was able to point it out to you. Those are things that you enjoy in reading. So when you lost attraction, or you lost, you are distracted by maybe your children, whatsoever, and you are unable to get those things right, then you don't have anybody to blame. And that is why I wanted to make sure that I finish this thing. The way we are going at this pace, we are not likely to finish this thing on time. So, because we are going at a snail speed, we are not fasting at all. We are not fast at it. By now, we should have finished reading strategy. Maybe before I allow questioning. Now, we have talked about reading habit and how to overcome them. Well, reading, when you, to overcome reading one word at a time, you should practice reading in chunks or group of words, as opposed to individual words. The techniques will encourage faster reading, and at the same time, train your eyes and mind to work in agreement with what you are reading. So in most cases, some people, you don't allow that. You always you put your eyes is somewhere else, and that is why I said, even if you are listening to somebody, you make sure you focus on that speaker, because what you listen to, once you stick and you meet it in your reading, whether it's trying to call a champion a champion, you will be able to know, oh, this is what it means. That means that thing is champion. That is the essence of the vocabulary, phonics, and whatever, what have you. So you'll be able to correct yourself and then put yourself in the right path. That, oh, I'm not missing up. Donation of that person will have been something else. So to make an effort of using conducive environment, I've said it, try and have a quiet area. I remember when we were in secondary school, sometimes some of us, there is one boy, we call him Festus Ashaolu. That guy is from Ikiti. You know what he normally do? He will leave others, those privets, he will go under the tree. He has cleaned that place. He has asked a junior to help him to. He took a mat, small mat like this. He take it there and a pillow. He will go there upside down. At times he will sleep and wake up and start reading. Come and see his book. It seems as if he knows that when you are in the hostel, you cannot read. Except he creates for himself. At the end of the day, he came out victorious. And these are things that we should know. I've been telling you what you do during the time you score A in mathematics, you score A in English, you score A in general courses. Apply that strategy into your day living of academics. Introduce it into your study guide. Bring it out and then apply it. You will see that, and maybe during that time it was group discussion you were able to do, and then makes you to pass that. Why can't you apply it now and see and make sure it works for you? Some they go as far as sleeping in their friend's house before they want to, because they create inconveniences for him. I've come here to live, to study with you. And then they study together, but not the lazy type friend like you. God bless you. Now, let's talk about writing. Because if possible, I need to finish this thing. As a student, you must acquaint yourself with writing. You may not have been writing the right way. But you see, I remember when we were in a primary school, during our own time, I don't know what they are using now because I'm not conversant with writing or lettering. During that time, they will ask you to buy 2D exercise book, whereby they line the capital letter, how to write the capital letter, how to construct E, how to construct A, how to construct B, how you can write T, how you can write V. You know, that will make you to read to make your writing readable. You don't have a writing skill, a good writing skill. Whatever you might have read, whatever you might have listened to, whatever you're talking about, you will not be able to talk. They'll say, what you said, oh yeah, put it down. What you have just said, put it down. And you are putting wrong things. So that means your mind and writing is not. So you must have a written skill that could take you, could make you more better in studying than not doing, because there is no how you are not going to write. Once you are able to read, you should be able to jot down things to show that you understand what you have learned, what you have read, what you have learned, I understand it. What I had, I know. So you will be able to sketch out, oh, from this. And you know, some people are fast in writing. Me, I'm good in listening. And the other thing is, I help some people to write their notes, so that what I'm copying from their notes, I'm helping them to write, collect a note from a good writer in the class. No, some people, they know how to form they just say maybe they want to write D, they just put small d. You know how to write shortened words in order not to engage in long sentences and all this. By the time you are doing that, some people are listening. When I see that some of my people, when they miss some of the area of the notes, I collect the notes of those people that can write very well. I help them to write their notes. As I'm writing the notes, I'm reading. Because what is you must at least scan through what you want to put down. You will look through, and then before you can write, and that is essential with. It's a pity I cannot finish this writing today. Okay, let me use the 4 minutes for you to make a contribution, useful contribution, not just any contribution, useful contribution. Oh yeah, Jonah Messi. Oh yeah, quickly. Jonah Messi.
Hello, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I really this very session. It's really commendable. You did it well this time because you had to mute everybody so that you have a very good time to lecture, other things to come in. Intend 35 to 40 minutes giving lectures, then maybe just 15 minutes for questions and answers. It will help our pace of reading. So I think I really appreciate what you have done today. Thank you, sir. Over.
Thank you too. Asupa, some.
Hello.
It's a waker. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Peace.
Good morning, sir.
Let's please talk first.
Okay.
Yourself, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Tomorrow.
Sir, can you hear?
Tomorrow, mute yourself. Tomorrow.
All right, sir. Okay.
Oh yeah, please go on.
Okay. I would like question. So my question is about reading, and you also I emphasize the way you talk about it, but I have. Can you hear?
I can't hear your question.
I can't hear you.
No, we can't hear.
Just give me the audience. You can hear me. Okay, my question is, you talked about reading habits. So my question is there any difference between like maybe you're reading for a lesson or you're reading for an exam? Is there anything two different of reading? Like, is there any difference of you're preparing for a lesson or the way you read, and you're going for write any exam? Also, another different way of reading. I just want to know the difference.
I told you about types of readings that you may engage yourself with. You might read for pleasure. I said you might read for pleasure. You might read for understanding. You might read information. You read for studying. Then reading for general understanding. If you are reading for pleasure, you know you are reading for pleasure. That if you are just reading it, maybe you want to make something out of it. Or maybe you want to do a drama and then you just, this is, like I said, those people who read at times, you read to keep yourself busy, to get yourself acquainted with some of things. When you read for information, you want to know something that goes around you. And then reading for studying, that means it's a serious one. You are reading, you want to pass, you want to get a better understanding of what the teacher is teaching. You are a student, you want to read and then make an impact and ask a question and pass. Then when you read for general understanding, you want to know what goes around you and you want to get better things. I've said these things and then I said there are ways in which if you read in details, if you do detailed reading, then you want to get the whole thing. Thank you.
morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, yeah, speak out.
I'm just joining now. Hello, sir.
You go buy ram for me.
Well, it seems
Hello.
your people don't want us to have a.
How is everything now? How is the family?
So let's call it a day for those people having class for 8 o'clock.
Call it a day,
Thank
sir.
you.
They are not ready to listen.
Thank you, sir.
I wonder why people are feeling like children.
So we'll see next week by His grace. Put your hands down. Let me get out of the class.